What's up, family? We are back with the Mind a Cure with Dr. T. And I'm so glad you joined me today. We are talking about being made in the shade. Usually, I'm not the shades type of girl, but I got curious about why people wear shades and what's the history of shades as a fashion statement. And what I found out is that in the 1920s, shades were originally created for airplane pilots. And then somebody got the bright idea that they could sell more shades if they got Hollywood stars to wear them. And boy, did that trend take off. So here we are today with shades. I also did some research about the psychology behind why people actually like wearing sunglasses. And what I found out is that people feel more confident when they wear shades because they don't feel like people are staring directly into their soul. You know the saying, the eyes are the window to the soul. Well, when you shade your eyes, you are shading your soul, and that makes people feel more free. On the flip side of that, there is some research that suggests that people who wear shades also are at risk of becoming more depressed because it signals to the brain that it's an overcast day. So shades can either make you feel more confident or more depressed. Now, when I went and picked up these MAD shades, I was hoping that I would feel more confident. And indeed, I do. But what about when people throw MAD shade at you? Does that cause you to feel more confident? Or does it cause you to get down and depressed and in the dumps? Well, I would like to suggest that we develop some strategies so that we can always be made in the shade and allow the shade that people throw at us to help us to feel more confident. So, how do we allow ourselves to be made in the shade? When people throw shade, we have a natural tendency to want to retaliate. Our defenses rise because we feel threatened. And we are like, oh, no, he didn't. Oh, no, she didn't. I can't believe she said that. I'm about to throw these hands. Don't make me whip out my ratchet Riri and all of the like. However, does that really solve the problem, which is the trigger to our insecurity that caused the shade to impact us the way that it did? And the answer is absolutely not. So I suggest that the way that we retaliate is retaliation through elevation. Elevation to what? Elevation back to the knowledge of who we are in Christ and who He created us to be. So I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and she was kind of feeling down and feeling like people had mistreated, betrayed, thrown shade her way. And I was explaining to her this concept of sometimes we need weight to allow us to fly. And it's kind of a contradictory idea that shade can actually be the weight that allows us to fly. So I told her, I said, imagine that you have always wanted to fly and you get in a hot air balloon. The hot air balloon has weights attached to it that actually bring about balance that allows the hot air balloon to rise in a very balanced and steady way. And the flight is so much better when that weight is in place. The weight of the shade allows us, it forces us rather, to focus on who we truly are. And as we focus on who we truly are, we elevate just like that hot air balloon back to the knowledge of who we are. So I want to leave you with this thought. You have nothing to prove. I already approve. You have nothing to regret. I am's not finished. yet. You may have made a mess, but you are not a hot mess. You may have rejected me, but you are not a reject. You had the nerve to try and wreck my plan, but you are not a nervous wreck. I am a master architect. I do not concoct, I construct. The intent of the blueprint was for you to disrupt constructs. I did not just scribble you onto the pages of history. I carefully, meticulously etched you onto the parchment scroll of eternity. And this is why I am as proud of you now as I ever will be. Do you know who you're addressing? You're gassing me, I'm guessing. Did you forget that I just Judased you? Tried to erase you with my mental jujitsu? Have you read my disclaimer? Did you not receive the addendum outlining all the things I've done that I'm ashamed of? Before you go too far, I suggest you check the fine print. There are flaws and mistakes you must surely document. I can be a touch toxic. Have you checked my warning label? Did you not take note that my emotions can be labeled? And this last stunt I pulled, it just takes the cake. Proof is in the pudding. I'm your biggest mistake. Too savage to salvage. Unworthy of grace. No, hold on, wait. Don't fade in the shade. Don't listen to voices that whisper in the wind. They want you to lose because they fear they can't win. They shame you, they blame you, then they try to frame you. But I am the one who fearfully and wonderfully named you. I can see the majestic tree inside your mustard seed. You are unsearchable treasures rolling in the deep. You are the riff of birds singing in heaven's key. You are the wonder of sunrise perched where the horizon meets the sea. Your beauty spans far beyond the farthest galaxy. You are my child, the spitting image of me. So trust this simple truth. There is nothing that you can ever do to make me stop loving you. Love doesn't throw up the deuces. There's no ultimatums, no truces. Love is concrete. Love is written in stone. Love never seeketh its own, always hopes, always perseveres. Love will never leave you alone. Love keeps no record of wrongs. It's like love has no memories, except it remembers me and my true identity, perfectly designed in the mind of the divine. And now, because of love, also in mine. So you see, regardless of what criticism, hate, shade, blame is targeted towards you, don't allow yourself to be consumed with your perception of how other people receive you, because the only perception that really matters is God's perception. How does he see you? And how he sees you is how he wants you to see yourself. This is what creates confidence in the midst of shade. This is what allows us to retaliate to shade by elevating back to the truth that we are fully known and fully loved by God. So today, be made in the shade by retaliating through elevation. And I can't wait to see you next time on The Mind Cure with Dr. T.
Help me, Lord, I need the